Thank you for watching another classic album installment. This one is going to be sort of a personal reminiscence of a classic album. U2's 1991 release, Achtung Baby. Now, I was and am a U2 fan. I was a bigger fan back then. I've not as big as I used to be because of certain things that have happened with the band. But that's another story. I still look forward to every new release, every new tour when I could afford it, and just hopefully they give me another classic. Now, by the time Achtung Baby came out, I think a lot of us were pretty much on U2 exhaustion. You had in '87 Joshua Tree, which was just this huge, it's a great album, it's a masterpiece as well, huge blockbuster album, huge tour, and then the documentary that followed that tour, based on the tour, Rattle and Hum. And then the Lovetown tour after that, and Bono famously on the last stage of the tour, on the last concert of that Lovetown tour, said we're going to go away to dream it all up again. Now this came out in '91, but at first I paid no mind to it. I was, still on U2 overdrive. I was exhausting. But I worked at a video store. I worked at a West Coast Video, and a bunch of myself and my friends were watching Rattle and Hum on the monitors. And I was just enjoying it. Now, mind you, by '92, when I was actually watching it, early '92, U2 looked, the Joshua Tree, Rattle and Hum era of U2 looked very dated. In that short time span, they looked very dated. But I was talking, I said, they have a new album out, and people were like, oh yeah, have you heard any of it? I said, I heard Mysterious Ways. That's pretty much the extent of what I heard. No, you gotta go here, you gotta get this album. So I went on my lunch at high school, at Lincoln Park High School. There was a Coconuts music that just opened on Armitage and Orchard. So it was a block away from the school, and I bought it. This is not my original copy. This is the remastered edition, and I don't have a vinyl copy of it. I'd love to get my hands on a vinyl copy of it. But I went and I bought this. The artwork is still amazing, and I read the lyrics because I didn't have a portable CD player or anything like that. I couldn't wait to get home. But I'm reading the lyrics, and I'm reading the lyrics to Zoo Station. They're like, I'm ready for the laughing gas. I'm ready for what's next. You're the real thing, even better than the real thing. When I was all messed up and I heard opera in my head, your love was like a light bulb hanging over my bed. That's a sample of some of the lyrics on here. You stole it when I needed the cash. You killed it because I wanted revenge. You lied to me because I asked you to. Baby, can we still be friends? I'm like, what is this? And a photo in the booklet inside caught my attention. It was U2 in drag. I was like, what's going on? And then I put this album on, and the opening of Zoo Station with that distorted guitar, then this distorted drum part, I thought my speakers were blown, but no, it was the record. And then Bono coming in with this heavily distorted voice, and I was like, wow, they're experimenting. But not only experimenting, the songs were good. Zoo Station is like a great overture to the rest of the album. Every single song on the album is a winner. Every single song on the album is, like Bono said, 4 men chopping down the Joshua Tree. Again, it was produced by Daniel Lanois and Brian Eno, same team who did the Joshua Tree and also Unforgettable Fire. Classic thing Eno said, and I love Brian Eno: my job is to erase anything that remotely sounds like U2. And I really think they're the best producers for U2. I think they've done their best work with Eno and Lanois. And Eno was probably more beneficial with the sonics on this album. The sort of slight industrial sound, heavy guitar, a lot of distortion, but the lyrics are good, and they're dealing with irony as well. It's not the Bono waving the white flag in the Sunday Bloody Sunday video. It's something new. It's something special. And also, like I said, dealing with irony. And the Zoo TV tour, which is probably the best concert tour ever, the most innovative concert tour ever, took that a step further, with Bono playing characters. And on top of that, they were having a hell of a good time. You could just tell they were having fun, too, doing this. Not being as serious as they used to be. For me personally, this album got me through a rough time. It got me through the death of my grandparents, my senior year of high school. My grandfather passed away on St. Patrick's Day of 1992. He had pulmonary fibrosis. My grandmother was dealing with pancreatic cancer, and she passed away 6 weeks later. I was watching my grandmother at night because my mother was watching her during the day. My father was a Chicago police officer, so it was his mother, but he couldn't take time off work, so my mother was helping out, and I was staying the night over there, wondering what was going to be happening in the other room where she was at. I would get lost in this album. This album was my escape. It was my escape to a different world than what was going on in the other room there. It was also my healing, because I was dealing with the death of two people I loved who were like second parents in my life. And One, the song One, really helped me through that time frame. The whole album did, but it really got me through a rough period of my life. And I'm glad this album was actually there for me. But on top of that, aside from my personal feelings, and I almost cried there, I'm not going to cry, it's just a killer album. It's U2's masterpiece, in my opinion. I liken this whole period to when the Beatles came back with Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields and Sgt. Pepper. The shockwaves that came through all of us who were U2 fans and U2'd out. I was like, what's U2 going to do next? And to me, it was a period of innovation after this, too, with the Zooropa album, and I even liked the Pop album. So, innovative album, one of the defining albums of the 90s, one of the defining albums of my life. U2's Achtung Baby. This is a classic album, and I love every single bit of this album.